If you were playing basketball, you'd want to wear basketball shoes, right? Most sporting and outdoor activities require specialty footwear, and it's certainly true for climbing, because when you need secure footing while scaling a climbing wall, you certainly don't want to wear Chuck Taylors that offer no grip. So if you're thinking about pursuing climbing as a new hobby, you'll want to make sure you have the right gear, and it all starts with the shoes. Before we get started with our video detailing the best climbing shoes on the market, we have included links in the description for each product mentioned, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting off with the best overall climbing shoes, we have the Scarpa Vapor V. The Vapor V from Scarpa is a solid choice for most climbers, from overhung boulders to multi-day trad climbers. The shoe does a great job of mixing comfort with performance, thanks to a moderately downturned shape that allows you to push off smaller edges, but without the discomfort associated with super aggressive shoes. In this update to the Scarpa's well-loved shoe, randing, or the rubber layer on top of the suede upper of the shoe, at the toe and heel has been improved for more grip and a less restrictive fit. The air mesh tongue and micro suede upper make the shoe comfortable enough for long days and a variety of foot shapes. I was initially skeptical about the Velcro closure, but I found the two straps and elastic cover on the tongue allowed me to dial in the fit without creating hot spots. These shoes are a little softer than the Sportiva Solution and other aggressive shoes, which makes for more comfort and sensation, but might compromise performance on the smallest edges. But for me, this shoe struck a sweet spot between accessibility and longevity, and it's comfortable enough to be an intro shoe, but also technical enough to last as your climbing skills grow. The Vibram XS Edge rubber sole and micro suede upper continue to provide a lot of grip and a little stretch, which means these shoes should stay the same shape after months of use. There's a clever feature called the bi-tension rand, which, according to Scarpa, transfers power from the heel to the toe without jamming the toes painfully into the front of the shoe. I'm not sure how much power was transferred, but I could happily climb, belay, and boulder away a rainy Saturday at the gym without being forced to take off my shoes to check if I still had all my toes. For most beginners, the Vapor V from Scarpa will be a huge upgrade from rental shoes. Certainly, it will feel unfamiliar, but after a few minutes on the wall, the performance benefits become clear. Experienced climbers will often amass a collection of shoes, with something in their quiver for every possible contingency. But starting out with the Vapor V might mean you can hold off on your next shoe upgrade, as it really delivers great performance outside and in, on a variety of routes. Next up, we have the best climbing shoes for beginners, which goes to the 510 Gambits. The box for these shoes came with the instruction that climbing shoes shouldn't feel uncomfortable. I scoffed at the thought that a shoe could be both comfortable and useful on challenging routes. When I slipped on the 510 Gambit, I was ready to dismiss the shoe as not stiff or aggressive enough for anything but simple gym climbs designed for beginners. But as I challenged myself outside and in, I was really impressed with what the Gambit offered, and I didn't have to take the shoes off to belay. The flat shape and low level of asymmetry mark the Gambit out as a more comfortable shoe, and one that is well suited to multi-pitch routes where climbers will keep the shoes on for an extended climb, which allows for resting periods on ledges in between difficult sections. The version I tested uses Velcro straps, but a lace-up version is also sold for people who feel they need more adjustability. Expert testers like the semi-technical fit, with a slight bias towards the big toe and a grippy heel cup that allows for surprisingly technical climbing in a comfortable shoe. The shoe's padded tongue felt comfortable and seemed to mitigate the pressure points and hot spots I sometimes feel with Velcro shoes. The cotton-lined leather upper didn't stretch much, but after a few weeks, I noticed a bit of expansion. In general, I would say these shoes fit true to size. I ordered the same European size that I wear in street shoes and have been happy with the fit. The stiffened midsole helps with arc pain on long climbs, but makes the Gambit less sensitive than the softest slipper. Most beginners will notice this stiffness and find it helpful as they progress to smaller footholds, where the stiffer sole provides a more solid platform. I also found the Stealth C4 rubber to be both durable and grippy. Again, a major upgrade compared to gym shoes that are often worn out. The Gambit isn't the ultimate performance shoe, but it is more than adequate for any beginner or mid-level climber wanting to progress out of gym shoes without the extreme discomfort of more aggressive shoes. If you want to go from the gym to climbing outside, these are a great shoe to straddle both, and at less than $100 are extremely affordable. Up next, we have the best climbing shoes for wide feet, which goes to the Solution from Sportiva. I love a good aggressive climbing shoe. I inadvertently stumbled into a pair of stiff, asymmetrical shoes when I began bouldering, and since then, I've always enjoyed the way a more downturned and sticky shoe lets me trust my feet in a way that I can't seem to in a more neutral slipper. However, aggressive shoes can be unbearingly constrictive for climbers with high volume or wide feet. If this is you, the Sportiva Solution is just that, a solution to your climbing shoe problem. The Solution fits a broad range of feet and comfort, thanks to its combination of a shoelace with the hook and loop tab that Sportiva calls the fast lacing system. This system allows the shoe to distribute tension evenly, rather than creating hot spots. There's no mistaking this for a neutral shoe. It looks like the talons of some kind of futuristic mutant eagle. The drastically downturned toe, stiff sole, secured heel cup, and grippy Vibram X2 Grip 2 rubber make the Solution a trustworthy partner on aggressive bouldering routes and sports climbs, where tiny edges and heel hooks might make the difference between sending and ending up back on the floor. The asymmetric shape lets me stand on my toes on the smallest of footholds, something that the Solution's previous iteration was well known for. This is not a shoe for all-day sessions, but thanks to the innovative lacing system, it can be easily taken on and off. In the first few sessions, I took advantage of this feature, but once the shoes were broken in, I was happily climbing for an hour or so without the need to relieve pressure on my feet. I found that my high arc but lower volume feet needed me to cinch really far over on the strap to get the tight fit I needed. I would consider cutting the strap down for longer sessions. I found these fit a little larger than the other similar size shoes I tested, but it may be because of my low volume feet. If you find yourself between sizes, size down on these. Backcountry buyer loved the Solution, with one raving, "These will get you up some things other shoes just can't." Testers at Outdoor Gear Lab loved that they could use the shoe on tiny edges and shallow pockets. These aren't cheap shoes, but if the much-loved previous model is anything to go by, they'll resole well for years to come. I should find out, as I plan to keep them in my gear bag for those times when I need a shoe to give me a little extra boost on tough routes. And for our last pick, we have the best climbing shoes for less than $100, which goes to the Black Diamond Momentum. Black Diamond is to climbing what Coca-Cola is to soft drinks. For years, climbers have relied on the company's clothing, helmets, and headlamps, from the Himalayas to the local bouldering gym. Despite this, it wasn't until 2017 that it released its first climbing shoe. Thankfully, the Momentum shoe lives up to the expectations and delivers a great fit, beginner-friendly pricing, and excellent performance. The Momentum really shines for its ability to combine comfort and performance. In large part, this is due to the use of an innovative knitted material that expert testers at REI loved, saying that the knit is tight where you need support and loose where your feet need to breathe. The relatively flat and symmetrical shape of the shoe means it'll be comfortable when belaying or trad climbing longer routes outside, as well as on short boulder problems or gym climbs. The synthetic material should maintain its shape and deal well with sweat, chalk, and weather. The shoe looks basic, but the Momentum offers a comfortable fit and surprisingly capable design, despite costing $100 less than other shoes we tested. This comfort does not come at the price of performance, thanks to a well-engineered rubber sole and toe box. One buyer said, "I felt secure and confident while smearing, pushing the shoe against the rock face for grip, and I had no trouble hanging on to tiny nubbins while edging, using only the edge of the shoe to push off a very slim foothold." The shoe's double tongues don't tend to fold up and create pressure points on the foot as much as single tongue designs. When combined with the Velcro closure, one expert tester found the Momentum comfortable to wear all day, whether climbing or belaying. If you're looking to get out of gym shoes, this is a great upgrade. If you stick with climbing, you'll no doubt find your shoe quiver growing, but this should remain a staple. I have several pairs of climbing shoes, and there are certainly times when I reach for the super downturned and aggressive shoes to help me send a particularly challenging route with a tiny edge. However, it's the Momentum shoes that live in my truck, and that I know I can pull out for an evening at the gym or a full day of climbing outside. That is what makes these shoes a fantastic choice for any climber, no matter what their experience or climbing preference. So that sums up our top climbing shoes of 2019. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day.